This year, New York City Pride looked a lot different. There were no floats, no corporate sponsors, and no cops marching with the crowd. In fact, it wasn't even New York City Pride at all. It was the Queer Liberation March for Black Lives and Against Police Brutality. The event looked a lot more like the early days of gay rights protests than the pride parades we know today.
The Reclaim Pride Coalition decided that we needed to go back to the garden and go back to the origins of pride.
In April, all official New York City Pride events were canceled because of the pandemic, leaving Reclaim Pride's second annual march as the city's de facto in-person Pride event, at a time when police brutality protests are raging across the country.
It's different because we are not policed. We don't have the NYPD completely covering our march route. We insist that our march routes do not have any barricades whatsoever. We're never going to change our ethos. We're about everyone together. We're not about contingents. We're not about floats. We're not about corporate money. We're damn sure not about police having any involvement.
Police and LGBTQ people have a contentious history, dating back to the raids on gay bars that sparked the Stonewall Uprising in 1969. And while police aren't shutting down gay bars today, the clashes between cops and the queer community are ongoing.
There is some type of irony of protesting police violence and then being abused by the police while doing it.
Jason Rosenberg was beaten by NYPD in early June at a rally protesting police violence against the Black trans community.
A bunch of us formed a blockade and were attacked by police. I had staples in my head, I have a broken arm, and I'm alive, and I'm still here because we're still fighting legacies and historical police violence against queer people, specifically Black queer people.
But for many Black trans people, the threat of violence is not limited to heavily policed protests. It's ever present.
Black trans women are disproportionately affected by murder, by homelessness, by poverty, by lack of health care, by everything that disenfranchises us in society. I've always been fighting the exact same things forever. But it's now just, okay, so cis white people are now showing up and finally being like, oh, the work isn't done.
An estimated 50,000 marchers covered ground from City Hall to Stonewall, ending up in a rally at Washington Square Park.
So I just want to say how proud I am of everybody who came out and marched in this goddamn heat to demand that the NYPD be defunded, dismantled, torn down to its fundaments, and then rebuilt.
Sure enough, tensions came to a head at the end of the march. Videos posted to social media show a clash between officers and the crowd, and officers pepper sprayed several of the marchers. Suffice to say, that didn't help the protesters' already fraught view of law enforcement.
Policing in this country has always been about white supremacy, and that's why we have to tear it down to its fundamentals and rebuild something that is about transformative justice, about restorative justice.